So guys, yeah, I got a 6105, quite often referred to as the Willard, named after Willard, who was the leading character in Apocalypse Now. Martin Sheen famously wore this watch, the 6105-8110. It's a watch that was actually released in 1968, was the first release of the 6105, and that was the 6105-8000. And a couple of years later, Seiko released the 6105-8110, which is this watch that I've got here. Now, there's something very special about this watch, guys, something very special indeed. There are a lot of these available on the secondary market. It was produced by Seiko between 1970 and 1976, I believe. But there is something very, very special about this particular watch. And now I'm going to do some close-up videos of the watch, and I'm just going to put in the comments as we're going through the video. I'm just going to write some little taglines to explain to you exactly what's actually quite unique about this particular Captain Willard. So yes guys, it's a very special watch indeed. It was only actually produced by Seiko. This particular reference was only produced by Seiko for 3 months, May, June and July 1970, which is actually the first 3 months that they had produced it with this particular case shape. And the only difference, of course, is the fact that it has proof on the dial and waterproof on the case back. But it also has a slightly longer sweeping seconds hand. The seconds hand goes right out to the edge of the indices. They shortened that when they re-released the watch later on during late 1970, early 1971, when they re-released the watch again. They made a new batch because they only used to make them for a few months every year. So they made a new batch in 1971, and that had a shorter sweeping seconds hand, and it had water resist on the back and resist on the dial. And it had a slightly thicker, slightly larger case shape, but it's very, very difficult to discern to the naked eye. So guys, yeah, really happy with the watch. And of course, what you want to know now is, what does it look like on the wrist? So yeah, it looks okay. I've got a 7.2 inch wrist, and I think it looks okay. I think it hugs the wrist beautifully. I have to say, this particular case shape, which is very similar to the modern turtle case shape, of course, hugs the wrist beautifully. It's a big case. When you look at the dimensions, you think, crikey, that's going to be a big watch. but actually on my 7.2 inch wrist I think it actually fits snugly. I think you could probably get away with this watch with, you know, a 6.25 inch wrist, maybe even down to a 6 inch wrist. It really is that comfortable as a watch to wear. So guys, I'm going to make another video on this watch a little bit later on. I want to talk about Seiko vintage divers watches generally, because I'm on a bit of a roll at the moment. I've bought a few vintage Seiko divers. This is just the latest one that I decided to do an unboxing video on. I'm going to make more videos in the coming weeks about Seiko vintage divers generally. But for now, thanks for watching the video, guys. If you haven't watched any of my videos before and you like it, please do subscribe. Please do give me the thumbs up anyway. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Cheers.